Welcome to the Mandalorian recap. We're going to be recapping, enjoying the talking about the episode of The Mandalorian that aired this morning or last night at midnight. It's episode 4, season 2. Great episode. Joining with me is comedian Michael Suarez, Bicycle, and funny man Anthony Devito.
Yeah.
Hey, funny man. Just a heads up, there will be heavy spoilers in this episode. If you did not watch Mandalorian yet, we are about to just tell you everything that happens.
People try to be so vague that they won't know the spoiler.
It's a recap. We can recap it.
Put the cap
back on, Greg. We're recapping.
You know,
how are we going to recap
cap, Anthony?
Oh, I didn't know we're supposed to have that's fun.
It's an episode recap. This is what we do. This is what we did last week.
Well, I didn't know
we'll
about
just do a recap and be vague. What do you want to? How do you want to do that? Well, the episode was good. Remember that thing happened?
All right.
People are busy, man. Some people work at night. You can go. Well, the blue man was upset, and the little guy ate something, and it's just not too far off.
The child, the little guy.
Yeah, little fella.
That is
the great
little fella.
Right.
They began with putting him to work. I love that. I love that he's like, I can't fit in there.
Not me. I don't know where the galaxy stands on child labor laws, but not me.
He shoved the little baby in a hole and then said, "Fuck with the electric wires. Don't let him touch." The baby he shocks himself almost to death.
I'll tell you this, the next episode better be about the Mandalorian facing charges about keeping this kid from parental groups.
Orange Carson's going to show up, the Jedi pilot. Hey, I'm here to lock you up for child labor laws.
Well, it was hard to watch.
It was hard to watch. You had a hard time watching the puppet do electrical work in the Razor Crest.
Yes, I did.
And then he shocked himself, which was like, yeah, dude, that's crazy. He's better get used to that. If you run into Palpatine, he's gonna shock your dick off too. That's a Yoda training for little man.
That's that point personally. That's when I was like, is he gonna get the Darth Maul gonna be shocked out of him? You know what I mean? Because that's all we need. We need an event like that, and then all of a sudden, the little fella, the little horns grow. You know, and all of a sudden you're like, I knew it. Darth Maul is in there.
We gotta remember Anthony's theory that the ghost of Darth Maul is inside Baby Yoda.
Oh, this is from last week. I think I scrubbed this from my mind. So Anthony, you're saying the ghost of Darth Maul is in Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, I thought what you were trying to say is
I think Anthony just said it is Darth Maul. I can only make sense of it by saying the ghost of Darth Maul, maybe.
Mike added a little bit of creative flair by making it the ghost, but that is Darth Maul. And that's why when I thought, because I'm waiting on the moment in the show where the event happens, where all of a sudden the trigger, he comes alive as Darth Maul, and I thought it might have been there, but I guess we'll have to wait for another episode.
Right. We're waiting. This is the horse that no one is betting on. That as far as Baby Yoda theories go, he is Darth Maul. Yeah, that's a 1 in 1,000 shot, dude. The payoff on that, if that comes out, if it turns out somehow it's Darth Maul, people come back 20 years later to this podcast and they go, "Anthony called it." No one. I go, do not give him credit for that. He did not. He is just a crazy man saying crazy words. That's like one of those. That's like a monkey on a typewriter. He didn't know what he was writing.
I also enjoyed seeing the Aqualis gang at the beginning getting killed by.
Yeah.
Who?
The Aqualis. Remember those crazy motherfuckers in the beginning who were trying to rob? I'm not 100% sure if he watched the episode. But in the beginning, he had one thing to do was watch the fucking episode, and I don't know that he did.
They took that space weasel and they were going to eat it.
Oh, yes, the bug-eyed red guys.
Remember who those guys were? That's the guy who that's from A New Hope when the guy goes, he doesn't like you. I don't like you either. Which I always
doesn't like you. Nobody that I know likes you.
And he says, I don't like you either. Which I would just go like, well then, like, why are you talking to me? And you don't even know me. And they were on the solo adventure.
That was a doctor. That was Dr. Evazan.
That was his name, Dr. Evazan?
The guy talking to him, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't know these galaxies and the schools that they get their
yeah.
degrees from. You know what I mean? How many of these are actually accredited?
Oh,
Some of these slipshod Tatooine schools. Yeah, I'm a lawyer in Tatooine. Yeah, just like you're a dentist in Haiti.
Hey, I always had friends that did that. It's like, my dad's a janitor, but I don't know. In Kazakhstan, he was a surgeon.
Yeah,
Well, what does that
sure.
mean? Yeah, he used to bash
Yeah.
people in the head with rocks because we didn't have a lot of, we didn't have schools.
Yeah,
Evans
we're all,
very loose with the painkiller prescriptions.
yeah, we're all the mayor of the Dagobah system. Sure.
Big spoilers. Big kind of things I set up in this episode was finding out that all the cloning that this is going on. So let me just do a little setup here is that they were trying to take Baby Yoda's blood to make some sort of clones that would be force susceptible. Why? Probably because they're setting up Palpatine. Probably because let me finish. I see you being real excited to talk here. You made no motions in your made no motions to suggest that. I'm talking to myself. Don't cut yourself off, Greg. Stay on target. I think what they're doing here is what Dave Filoni is known for doing with Clone Wars, was taking shitty movies and making them good. He made the prequels good with Clone Wars. I think they're about to make the sequels good with Mandalorian. I think that they're about to set this up. Did you catch that, Anthony?
Yeah, well, my brightness
cloning
was
stuff?
my brightness wasn't too high on my iPad, so I couldn't see what was inside those valves. Context clues put things together when they were talking about a high M count. I'm assuming that's a metachlorian count.
Very exciting when they call it the M count. They got a big M count.
I know. I thought that
I laughed at that.
To be honest with you, I did like that more than I like a metachlorian count.
Of course.
I think it's a lot cooler to call it an M count, and especially I felt sort of exceptional to be in the know at that point as well.
Did you guys see the Dark Troopers? This is very exciting. Do you know what a Dark Trooper is, Anthony? Do you need me to tell you?
Yeah, probably.
Which one? You stroke your chin. You may not have caught them because, like you said, your iPad brightness was very down.
That's true.
When we saw Moff Gideon at the end in what looked to you like just a dark room,
yes,
there were Dark Troopers, which he had. Yeah, they were very dark, so I couldn't imagine you to have seen them. They were also in the end of the season 1 finale when they showed up in those all black suits. Well, we think, or they could have been robots. So here are who the Dark Troopers are. There's two options on who the Dark Troopers are. Okay. Here, Anthony, do you see those? Well, I can't even see it either.
I got to increase my brightness.
They look like black Cylons.
Oh, there they are. Okay. Now, yeah, I can tell you what I thought they were after you're done.
Hit me. No, you go first, because then I'll tell you what they are.
Well, I thought that not everybody knows that Darth Vader died. So I think this Moff Gideon guy is going to be fake Darth Vader. And those are all extra Darth Vader helmets in case he loses one. That's really what I thought.
I'm down with that.
So let's just recap the recap here. Not everyone knows Darth Vader is dead. No, if you watch Star Wars, they could have missed that part. Return of the Jedi.
What I mean is, the viewer knows, but not everyone in the galaxy. It's a big galaxy. But
so the fan theory here is, and I'm not going to say I hate it, is that Moff Gideon's plan here was to pretend to be Darth Vader, which I like, but you thought as a director, what they really wanted to show was he's going to pretend so hard. Look, he's got 20 Darth Vader costumes.
Yeah.
In case he loses one.
Well, in case he loses one, or he happens to fall at the hands of a strong Jedi, or anyone really. I mean, kind of accidents happen in the home more often than not. But you've got all these extra, as if to say, well, the Empire's not stopping here. They got a bunch of other guys lined up, or women, as we saw, who could take the reins of Darth Vader. But here's the problem with that. You really got to nail his gait, because the man's got a particular walk.
GAIT, gait, his walk, sure.
Yeah.
This is usually the medical terminology they use on Alzheimer's patients when they can't really walk. But yeah, instead of nailing his walk, let's nail his gait.
Because he's an easy spot from far away to go, that's not Darth Vader. Look at it. Look at his gait. Slightly to the left. That's not him at all.
Vader walks like he's listening to a song. You know, Vader's always got a little
He's got a
Darth
bop
jazz
to him.
going on. A little
Yeah.
bop.
He's got a bop.
Oh my God. So the Dark Troopers, and this is a fun thing the listeners at home can take to prove that they know about Star Wars. The Dark Troopers were one of two options. One, these Dark Troopers were force-sensitive stormtroopers, essentially, that they were able to like force a little bit, right? And which would go along with what Moff Gideon is doing by trying to inject force stuff, you know, like by making up like clones with force stuff, so that he can make like force clones.
Yes.
Or they were like half human, half robot type stormtroopers. So it depends on which way they go. But I think my theory is it's not so much as a multi-costume theory like yours. I think this Filoni and made Clone Wars. I think he might be trying to bring the clones back. So I think like this could be a way to be like, because those were cloners in there.
Right.
That guy, Griff Karga. I think he's a cloner. They were saying he's a cloner, so they might be making a new level of clones that they might be force sensitive, like Baby Yoda, or which will lead to bringing back Palpatine in the cloning technology, as we saw in Rise of Skywalker.
That would definitely bolster Palpatine's return in Rise of Skywalker. That would give it a little bit more weight, which would be cool. I can't believe they're doing this outside the jurisdiction of the Rainy Planet people. But
Caminos, the Rainy Planet Longnecks.
The Rainy Planet Longnecks.
Rainy Planet. Those are the Caminos. They all, I think, blew up or died. I think in Clone Wars or something happened. Well, I think that they just had such weak necks that someone threw some kind of boomerang and it just decapitated all of them.
Yeah,
they're wrong win when they were all out in the veranda.
That's true. They did. They did enjoy an outdoor space a little too much for the kind of climate that they were in. But I think then maybe these folks found the recipe and then just started their own thing.
I want to note what Mike pulled up here. That's see, those are the symbols on the see those. That's little.
Oh
that's
my
little,
God! Yeah, that's little.
That's little Boba Fett, or one of those little clones, right?
Yes.
He's got a little patch that shows the cloning company or whatever, and then he's got one on there too. I wanted to pull up another picture, Mike. The first one I sent you that I didn't show Anthony. You see what I circled there? Do you see who that is?
It's
you put your glasses on. IG-11, who died saving Baby Yoda. They made a little statue of him.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Isn't that exciting?
That town is really coming together. Whoever is running that town maybe should have a higher position in Coruscant or something like that, because they've turned that thing around right quick. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Carl Weathers did it.
True. Yeah, Carl Weathers needs a position, not to mention, and I'll say this about the senators of Coruscant. I mean, they gave Mace Windu a high position in the Jedi Order. We don't see a lot of diversity there. So it'd be good, advantageous for them.
You don't see a lot of diversity where in the council of every. You're telling me that in the Republic, where they showed literally every single type of alien, you didn't see diversity, or you just didn't see a black guy? That's what. E.T. was there.
You're right. I would say that is true.
Yes, I didn't exactly. I didn't see a black guy. So for all these googly-eyed frogmen that are in the that are in the higher rankings of the Senate, the Trade Federation, not one black guy. So it'd be good for them to consider Carl Weathers for a higher political position based on what he's done in that town.
In the New Republic.
Yes.
In the new, which we're still trying to build. This is all about building the new. Yeah.
Why am I trying
to write this?
My man put in a high-tech school system in an afternoon. Do we not see that?
We can't even do that. Cuomo can't even do that in New York.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed this scene at the very end. I really feel they're trying to give her a spin-off series, and I think this is what they're
world
do
building.
With it. And I can't wait where next year, where they have this show coming out.
Oh, Dr. Pershing was who I was trying to say before, not Griff Karga. Griff is Apollo. Did you see Carl Weathers directed that episode?
I did. I thought that was great. He did a great job.
Great job. Great show. Great episode.
Yeah.
What did you overall think of the episode?
Well, I really liked it. Here was what I thought was the interesting part of the episode, and I think this is a real talking point going forward, and something that's never been mentioned. But the lasting effects of being frozen in carbonite, as the Blue Man told us, he cannot. He very much like COVID. He cannot see out of his left eye for months on end after being frozen in carbonite. And I think now we look at Han Solo a little differently afterwards. You know what I mean?
Why do we look at Han Solo differently?
Well, there's probably a lot of things he's going through. Cardiac problems that he's got going on after being frozen in carbonite. You know, there are a lot of things with Leia where she's like, hey, this happens to a lot of guys. And he's like, it's just the carbonite. I'm telling you.
It's carbonite impotence. It's a known thing. If you get put in carbonite you get carbonite impotence. It's a lasting effect.
So I thought that was a very cool dimension to explore.
There we go. He's the sheriff. Look at this picture that it took so long for this poor guy to pull up, for Mike to pull up. The joke was deflated.
No way. That's
pleased to see her new spin-off show. Fuck, the computer is dead. She's the sheriff. I love it, Mike.
Oh, Mike, that's so funny.
I would also argue I would watch that show. I would watch the sheriff show if she's with my man Blue Man.
The Blue Man, one of my new favorite guys in the galaxy.
Horatio Sands.
That's Horatio Sands. I thought it was someone of notoriety. And I like how they're doing that. They're throwing all these side characters in. They're giving a lot to the people that they know are watching. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like Horatio Sands, the resurrection of Deadwood, Sasha Banks. They know exactly who's watching Star Wars. But my Blue Man, what I like about Blue Man, if I could go on for a second, and this is really the last thing that I wrote down about the episode.
I didn't know you wrote down anything.
I wrote down 3 things. I wrote down the lasting effects of carbonite. I wrote down stealing macaroons, a very Darth Maul move, by the way, that the little fella did. And then I wrote down how the Blue Man was constantly trying to knock years off his sentence in one car ride. He got like 150 years knocked off. And he was slick about the way he would do it. What he would do is he would just say he didn't want to do something, and Carl Weathers would go, would you do it for 25 years? And he'd be like, well, I suppose I could hit a button or two.
I thought Carl, we'll call him Carl Weathers. I was pretty sure he was very liberal with the years he was taking off. You know, and he was like, I don't know, clean this windshield. That's 75 years off of prison for you. He's like, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah, he was really, and I think he knew, because he gave him, I think it was like 150 off for just driving them.
Just driving.
And then he was like, sit in the car, and he's like, I don't like sitting in the car. And he was like, 30 years. And then by the end of it, he was like, all right, that's 6 months.
I do like the idea that he just takes years off for a little, give you, take 5 years off if you eat this old donut, something like that.
Yeah, man, that guy did very well for himself in one trip.
It's not just like Carl Weathers, like, someone farting here? Add 50 more years. You got 50 more years in jail.
He's just
This is why he would not be good in the New Republic, by the way. I would like to say this is why Carl Weathers would not be good in leading of some kind of laws.
All right, fair point. That's a very fair point. Once he tries to implement the years, arbitrary years system, I think they'll be like, oh, God, man, I think we made a mistake getting this guy in the group.
I don't know if I love it or I hate it, but the one thing I noticed in Mandalorian is everyone is hunting for cash or credits, and no one uses them. It's always Mandalorian's like, I got 1 billion credits, and they go, cool, we don't take credits here, but here's what you can do. My mom is moving next Friday, and Mando, if you could help move this ottoman, well, I'll give you the information you need. It's always, he shows up, he goes, I'll pay, and they go, my fucking uncle's getting eaten by giant slugs. Kill snail slugs. I'll give you this whole wheat on rye, no charge.
Yeah,
no one's using credits.
You're right. This guy is so rich in bus card, and not a bar in the galaxy will take it.
Last week you were talking about how he drinks. They finally showed how he drinks and how he eats. It's ridiculous, because why doesn't he have a straw function?
Great call, Mike.
Instead of having to do this thing every time.
Great call, and I think we'll see. Here's the thing: we did talk about that last episode of this podcast, and I think we had maybe upwards of 228 views on YouTube. But they never tell you where those views are coming from, and I think one of those views might have been Mr. Favreau himself. So
Mr. Favreau, who went and re-edited that. He saw our episode last week, and he said, "Hey, Pascal, fuck what you did about COVID. We got to film you drinking out of the helmet. The fans need it."
We got a lot of questions to answer. Also, you're not going to believe this. One of these kids is onto our Darth Maul thing. So we got to bury that a little bit better. But I think Mike is right. I think next episode, we're going to find him drinking through a straw. You're right.
I argue this is how if I was Mando, what you do is you just flip off the gravity switch in the Razor Crest, let the water float up under the helmet, and then you just... you suck around. You know what I mean? You don't need a straw. You just turn off the grav. Yeah, like then you float around like Charlie Bucket. But we didn't really talk enough about how insane it was for Mandalorian to send the child into that tiny little electrical hole and then expect him to rewire it. He goes, "No, the blue one goes there and the red one goes there.
You've given the directions in there. I'll put it where that one goes."
And then the poor fucking baby shocked himself. You all right? You all right? You little. He was so cute. This was a high octane for cuteness. This episode.
Oh yeah. The cookie thing was my favorite.
Yeah, I was quite fuzzy throughout the whole episode. The cookie thing was adorable. His little words, the macaroons. I mean, come on, who doesn't like a little French thief? You know, stealing macaroons. That's great. His little words that he's saying, he's so cute. I love that little guy. Yeah.
It's funny because I did write down, it's like, man, this little baby Yoda is kind of evil. Like, he ate the little eggs. He's stealing food. It's like, man, your idea. Yeah, his hands in the air are so cute there. The idea that he's Darth Maul isn't that far off. He might just be Darth Maul.
I think he is, and I think that's what they're hiding. And if you'll notice, also, while the old Razor Crest was going in the air fighting one of the TIE fighters, we don't really know who he was rooting for.
Baby Maul? You think Baby Maul was rooting for the TIE fighters?
I think he might have been. Look back at that laser fight scene and see exactly when he starts to jump for joy.
We'll look back. We'll have to look back. I would like to see a Dr. Pershing's spin-off show, like an ER type show, where we get that clone doctor, and he's like, "When I lose another one, that guy be good."
That's what I agree with, because you were talking about diversity. We saw that, if anything, the new empire is hiring from all sides. There, you know what? This is no longer a white man's game. We have to
right. Her and Dr. Phasma, she was hot.
Yeah,
if that was fucking hot.
If Palpatine went, if Lorne Michaels can do it, we can do it. We're opening the doors up. No more just straight white males as moth whoever's. How about some moth Janes instead of some moth Jims?
There's a Space OSHA poster in their break rooms now. These are your rights. You're not working more than 40 space hours in a week. And this is your minimum credits. And you can't work for years anymore. They can't just give you 10 years because you didn't. You came in 10 minutes late. They can't do that to you anymore.
I wanted to add one more thing, which I thought was funny. Was we got to see something we've all been waiting to see. I would say teased in episode 1 or 2 of the first season. Old Blue Man goes, "You never want to see a mithril evacuate his thorax." And what did we see this episode? He evacuated his thorax when that gas came out. And I was like, it's so funny that they thought about that and went, well, we said it, so we got to see it. And he just farted out his neck in the first part.
When he exuded that gas, I thought he got turned on because he was drawn to power.
So he saw Cara Dune, Grief Karga, and he just went, I'm ready to fuck. And he got turned on. And he got turned on because you mostly see when people get turned on, gas shoots out of their body somewhere. Well, fair assessment. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to put some of these videos on YouTube. Please subscribe if you're enjoying it. Like if you're enjoying it. Check out the Rad Dudecast. It's our podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on wherever. Anything else I should say before you guys give your things?
Yeah, well, I don't think we're going to see Ahsoka to the last episode of the season. And
I hope not.
Yeah.
We both- You're right.
But you guys know who she is, and I don't want to know who she is. Okay, that's right.
You know who Ahsoka is
I mean, I know
because
who
you've
she is
seen
before
Clone Wars.
her.
Oh, you don't know who the actress is.
I don't know the actor.
Oh yeah, I don't know who the actress is either.
You
Only
don't?
Greg-
I purposely did not check.
Oh, that'll be fun. So Mystical and I can guess before
That's
the final
exciting.
episode. That'll be good.
That's exciting that you don't know. It's a big name actress. That's why I don't know that it's going to be last
It's
episode.
the woman who played Peggy Bundy.
Yes, Seagal.
Yeah.
Stacey Seagal. Anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all real soon. See ya.